Rise and shine, America. Here we are again, loaded up with the old Mercedes-Benz. Got the trailer on. What are we picking up today? Another port run. I love port runs. Here we go. Going over the George Washington. Iconic bridge. That absolutely sucks. And traffic. Here we are at the port. The port is basically its own city, and it's just as far as the eye can see with that plane. Airport's right next to it. Here it is.
Wow, look at all these little mini trucks. This is awesome. All sorts of stuff here. Toyotas down there, a bunch of Subarus, it's a Honda Civic hatchie back there, and Honda Acura, some sort of a van thing over there.
So after a big adventure, I am finally out, and we got ourselves a Hijet van, and it's actually really nice. A couple little dings here and there, but it's in really nice shape. Two-wheel drive. This one we're keeping, we're gonna build, and yeah, we're gonna slam it, put some wheels on it. It's only got 18,000 kilometers on it, supposedly. And I mean, it's clean enough that it might really only have that. It's a 6-digit odometer, so unless they changed it, it didn't roll over. It's a 95, and yeah. So now the long trip back to Connecticut from Jersey. We got stuck at the port for a lot longer than planned, and I'm hoping we don't hit traffic on the way home. We shall see though. All right, so we're on our way home. We got the Hijet, and it looks really clean. There's no rust on it whatsoever. It's got super low miles. It's gonna be a fun little build for the channel. Right before I started this channel, I had sold my Ackie van. I had a 94 Street L 4-wheel drive Ackie, and it was a great van. I loved it, and it drove really well, and it was just an overall fun van, but a couple downfalls on what I wanted to do with it. So since it was 4-wheel drive, it was a little harder to lower, and because it was a Honda, the front suspension setup made it a little harder to custom make something for it. So I sold that, and I looked for a 2-wheel drive van because I want to lower it, I want to put some wheels on it and have some fun with it. The Ackie was a little better equipped, had nicer interior, had carpeting, because it was like a street model. It was a civilian model versus this Hijet, which is more of a commercial model. So it doesn't have carpet, it's a little less equipped, it's got vinyl seats instead of cloth, but that's all stuff we can switch out. I've got seats, I'm probably gonna try and carpet the inside of it. Besides that, it's a perfect platform. It's 2-wheel drive, and the front suspension setup is actually very close to S chassis. So we can make coilovers for the front. We're gonna modify probably a set of S chassis coilovers for the front to lower it, and then the rear, we're gonna C-notch the frame, and we're gonna do an axle flip, because as of right now, the axle sits on the bottom of the leaf springs. So what we wanna do is take the axle out, cut the mounts off, flip them around, re-weld them on, and flip the axle on top of the leaf springs. They say it gives you about a 6-inch drop on the back of these, which will be perfect. It'll sit nice and low. Once it has a proper set of wheels on it, it's gonna fit nice. And yeah, I can't wait for it to happen. So another thing with the Hijets is these are 4x110 bolt pattern, which makes getting wheels a bit of a pain. What you have to do is run a spacer, and Jimmy will tell you this, he had the same problem on his Hijet. He had to run a spacer setup, which when you're dealing with, you know, such a tiny wheel to begin with, you don't have a lot of play to, the wheel ends up sticking out with a spacer. And I really don't want to run flares or anything like that, so we'll see what we have wheel-wise, what we can do. His setup ended up working. I want to do something like along those lines, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes there. I have a couple more surprises sitting at the port. I wish I was able to go in there and video them a bit, because one of them I'm so excited about, and I think you guys will be too. I'll link up with you guys when I get off this fucking bridge and out of this fucking truck. Look at that bridge. What's going on? So we just got back from our trip to the port, and we picked the Hijet up, the van. And now that we are inside, we can get a little bit better look at it and really check it out. So I just brought it in. You know, it's snowing out. That's why I didn't get any taking it off the trailer or anything. I should have. It was kind of coming down a little hard. I was just trying to get it done and get it inside. But let's take a closer look at it. So I left everything on there so we can clean it up. This is all just crud from the trip, dripping down the windows and onto the white. A good washing will take all that off, but it's in surprisingly good shape. It's a 1995, so you know it's 26, 27 years old almost, but no rust. It's very clean, you know, very, very clean. Underneath the rockers, all very clean. Underneath is spotless. Look at this. That's clean. And it's low mile. And I actually believe it, because again, I know anybody could fake it, but it's got these stickers showing 23,000 kilometers. That's due. The oil change is due at 23. It's got 18,000 kilometers on it. So that's like 10,000 miles. Less than 10,000 miles. And it's a 6-digit, so it hasn't been rolled over. You know, a lot of these vans, they sit in lots and they're small company trucks and they stay just in a small town. So a lot of them actually do have low mileage. And you could tell just by looking at it and driving it if it's been rolled over or if it has high mileage. You know, because this one, it's tight. Everything is tight. Just like my sandbar, everything is super tight on it. So you could tell it's actually low miles. So it's got a little dent there. Paintless dent could take care of that. And it's got a little dent in the front as well. Again, paintless dent guy could take care of that, no problem. We're going to clean this up a little bit, and this is going to be a fun little project. You know, just a parts getter around the towner, not going super crazy, but yeah, little parts getter. Needed parts getter. I used my Ackie van for so much shit, buying and selling wheels and car parts. I drove it all around the state. So that's really the plan with this one too. I literally picked up the whole M3 subframe for this car and suspension, drive shaft. I picked it all up in that van, no problem. You can fit a surprising amount of shit in the back of these things. So let's get to cleaning it up. So doing the spark plugs in this. Look how clean the engine is. Super clean. I don't see a time belt sticker on there, so I am going to have to check that. See how the time belt is. Everything else is super clean on it. Vacuum lines look good, but we are doing the plugs now. So you gotta have a flexi head. I already got this one loose, so I pulled this one off while I was running and it died. So this one is firing still, but I want to start off and see how a running cylinder's plug looks. There we go. Finally. And let's see how it looks. Oh, again with these fucking twin plugs. They don't look that great, but these twins fucking suck. I hate these plugs. What brand are they? Denzo's. But these twin plugs, they suck. I've never had good luck with them, so that's an awesome sign. Now I know why it runs like shit, and you can just tell it's super black. And that's a running cylinder. I feel like every plug I see come out of Japan looks like this. So we're gonna change the plugs quick. Be right back. So I think we found the culprit to why it's running crappy at low RPMs. It has these, I hate these twin prong plugs. They're just junk. They don't last. And I tested them and you see barely any spark come from them. That's how shitty they are. I put the new BKR 6Es on there. and the spark is so bright, it fucking lights up the night sky. No, really, it sparks 1,000 times harder than these. That's why these things are all fueled up. That's all wetness on there from not firing. So we got one more plug to go, and yeah, we'll see how this thing runs. Check it out though. AC in it. It said it had power steering, but it most certainly doesn't. I threw that shift knob on there. Kind of cool. And I got a set of floor mats. I gotta get out of my floor mat section and throw them in here. So they're, you know, K-truck floor mats, some JDM ones that look cool, and this one happens to be missing just the driver's one, which is silly, stupid, but it's very clean. These things usually have, you know, rust all in here, and this thing is just clean. Look at that shock, mint clean, and all original paint. I think this thing was a pickup. You know, usually they get a little rusty in there. That's just grease in there. That's not even rust or anything. That thing's nice. Even the wheels are nice. A little surface rust on the road, I mean, on the lug nuts, but that's it. Bottom of the door, super solid. Nice little truck. I'm probably gonna recover these. Super simple, it's just a flat piece. So we'll take a little vote what kind of material to cover it in. I gotta do the headliner too. The headliner's always sagging these things, and this one's hurting. Headliner is hurting in this. So we're gonna have to either do something, maybe get some cool stickers and sticker the whole roof. Just take the headliner out. I don't know, we'll figure it out. It's got all 4 factory rain guards too, which is very cool. My Aki only had the fronts. This one's got all of them. Oh, do the rear windows go down on this? I wonder. Let's see. Yes, they do. Do they go down all the way? They're a little stiff, I'll tell you that. This thing hasn't been used in a while, you can tell. Nope, only halfway. Halfway windows. That's alright. I kind of like them when they're halfway. Everything's super nice on this thing now. This has to be stretched out a little bit. Looks like it was crumpled up. The battery is under here. It holds a charge though, fired right up at the port. Everything seems to work. Let's get the spark plug in and get it running. Maybe even drive this thing home tonight. All right, fresh back from the test drive. New plugs in it. Some, you know what kind of plugs they are. BK R6E. Only the best plug ever made. NGK coppers. Cost me $9 for 3 plugs. I think that's what I paid. Anyways, this thing's a ripper. It absolutely rips. The gearing on it is fucking awesome. Way better than the Honda. This thing will blow the Aki's doors in. I'm really surprised. It's got a little bit of nut. Super happy with it. It drives really nice. So I am super happy with it. A little bit of elbow grease, some spark plugs, and yeah, she's good. She's G2G. Now this thing's got to be slammed, some wheels. Get that little dent out of there. That's not even there. Bye-bye. Freeze. But yeah, this thing is fucking... It's gonna be a good little build. Good time. Got the K plate on it. Don't know if it's the right fucking numbers or anything. I really don't know. I'm sorry. That's one thing I do not know. It's gonna get I'm thinking a wood wheel. A Nardi wood wheel. So we're gonna do something with the door panels, something cool, some kind of covering with it. We're gonna do a nice wheel setup, clean the dash up, no cracks or anything, and recover the seats. The seats are in good shape except for this, but the foam's still good. And this is literally just from age and sun. I mean, look at this. It just crumbles apart. So we're gonna do something cool with it. I actually have quite a few sets of seats, some really nice Corbos that I might run in there. Bang, bang, bang. These would actually look pretty cool. I wanted to put them in the Pajero, but it never happened. I might still put them in the Pajero, I don't know. But I don't know, we'll figure something out. This thing's gonna get cleaned up for sure. It's worth cleaning up. It's in such nice shape. So this is it. This is the next one on the list. We're loading up. We're loading up, boys and girls. Loading up all kinds of goodies for you. Well, I appreciate everything. Appreciate all your kind words. I appreciate all the comments and the support you guys are showing me from all over the world. I can't believe it. But yeah, you know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. We got a lot of shit coming up, so stay tuned for sure. See you guys later.